Good evening. Welcome to a special edition of Professor and the Hammer. With me, as always, my co-host Richard Cloudhammer. What's up, buddy?
What's going on? How are you doing today?
Not much, man.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, right. We went from like not talking for like 4 days, not for anything weird other than the fact that we just didn't have time to speak, and to now having back-to-back night podcasts. Last night was awesome. Amir Tyson. Thank you so much for Amir Tyson coming on the show, and thanks for Gunner for being cool about taking the next night available, which is tonight. So can't wait.
Yeah, and Corey too, his opponent. I'm sorry, I put that out. I apologize to both of them. We had to move things around. That's on me for double booking kind of thing. And I didn't know. I knew Amir. We had the idea of the premise that was coming, but it wasn't. And that's on me. I didn't know it was confirmed. So I apologize for that. And Corey, if he can, he could pop on. He's but he might. We're going to do another episode with him on. You know what I mean? Definitely, I want to owe that to him and say thank you. That So if he can't make it tonight somehow, I talked to him a little bit today, but really cool guy too. So they're awesome. Gunners too. That's awesome. They were very, very cordial about this, and I'm a mess. So
listen, that's what makes us, buddy.
That's so cool. Last night. So is this on Facebook? Is it working right now?
Yes, Facebook is working right now.
Cool. I don't know what happened last night. Is it on YouTube right now as well?
On YouTube as well. Search on YouTube, Professor and the Hammer, and you should find our channel, and you can see us live.
That's so weird. What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened last night? That's so bizarre.
Yeah, it really is.
It figures that what happens with whatever.
Yeah,
they're all important guests. But
Jordan Turner says Facebook is Gucci, so we appreciate Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan. Put Jordan on the production team.
Yeah, man. Jordan does some crazy videos. Definitely would. I've always had an idea of getting
Jamie.
No, not Jamie. you get half the salary that Rich and I pull.
Yeah,
and then you can do those cameos and have Is it Michael Buffer? Who's the Buffer that does UFC?
Bruce
Buffer. That's right. Bruce Buffer. Michael's the boxer.
Yeah.
And just have him do our intro for us. Instead of having the generic 30-second countdown, have him do a.
Oh, we should do that.
Yeah. But
I'm not going to speak for him. Oh yeah, Jordan will do that. No problem. Yeah, fucking.
Jordan, get on that AI and get Michael and get Bruce Buffer doing our.
Mark Moses is a freaking AI king too, man. He sends me some cool things. So.
AI is taking over the world, bro. We're eventually they're no longer gonna need us doing a podcast. It's just gonna be AI doing it.
Yeah, it'll be on time. It'll be give the fucking guests the right information.
Facebook will work.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So and it'll be AI watching AI. That's what the world's gonna be.
Yeah, Jordan says he's got us.
He made me the nicest little retirement montage video, man.
I love that video.
And it's great because it's one of my favorite songs. It was like so unexpected that that it fits so well. Front bottom song. It was amazing.
Yeah. I enjoy, and I hope you enjoy as much as I do whenever I see the guy you fought last.
Kenny?
Yeah. And he posted a photo of him doing like an uppercut.
Bro, there's so many good pictures of him beating the fuck out of me.
And I'm like, that's my boy, teaching him a lesson, headbutting his fist. I'm like, I'm gonna have to fucking AI. If that kid ever hit me like that, I would fucking cry.
Bro, that hurt so bad. Like that was like, I've been hit pretty fucking hard, and that was like the first time I ever been like, I like my legs went out, and then I started like, it was just like. It hurt like so bad in my face, like really fucking hurt.
Started doing a damage assessment, like what's yeah.
I think when my body was like stopped working, like responding properly, but like that was the one where I was like, holy fuck! I want to get a thing. I talked to Kenny today because Kenny has a fight coming up Saturday, so we probably can't do it before Saturday, but maybe I know Al has a fight coming up. Like him, I'd like him and Al on the same show,
like an MMA,
and Duff, yeah, you know what I mean? Like at least the three of them on together, that'd be so cool. Yeah, my computer, I come in, this shit. So I had like glitches last night. My computer wasn't working tonight. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? My Tortoise unplugged it. she was fucking crawling around today, and she just fucking like I saw her over here fucking with things, and then she somehow got wrapped up in it and plugged it. So
yeah,
but
I felt last night we forgot to mention all these talk stuff. Cage Wars MMA.com. 2 shows coming up. June 3rd for the show we're going to talk about tonight. July 7th, the show that's coming to Schenectady. Which leads us to our guest on tonight, Gunner, making his second pro fight against a guy we've watched, a couple times, Corey Butts.
Watched him in the title against Cole. That was a war.
Yeah, that was an absolute war. So let's bring in Gunner. Hey, Gunner, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, gentlemen? Appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, definitely, bro.
Thank you so much. And again, apologies we talked before, but again, thank you so much.
Of course.
Yeah. So, like, we had to talk about, first of all, they've done such a great social media with your posters and stuff.
Dude, there's some of the cool. As soon as that one poster came out, when you were like this, I'm like, I gotta see this guy fight, and like that, it was fucking awesome. Like that was just everything, and I love the shtick is carrying on. I mean, the whole fucking the guitars, the hats in the background. I love it. You sold me. Like it's fantastic, man. But those posters are so cool. Like great nickname. And I also want to comment before we get too far into this. I'm big into t-shirts, and I fucking love the t-shirt you got designed. Like so apparently
one?
The what?
The newest one?
It looks like almost like a Fallout kind of like it's like somebody riding the rocket.
Yeah, it's
like,
me.
yeah.
So we put my face on it. I don't know how in depth you guys looked into me, but I
think you go to Drexel for like aerospace engineering, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
I'm studying aerospace
God
engineering
damn, bro.
at Drexel University, and so depending on the day, they call me the Space Cowboy. They call me, depending on who you ask, they got different names.
That is the best nickname. The Real McCoy is super cool too. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But the Space Cowboy, because it's so apt. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I got this one. This is my original nickname, so I can't leave this one behind.
No, yeah. It's cool having a bunch of them, man. That's awesome. It's
So where are you from originally, Gunner? Like, where did you grow up in?
I'm from Bucks County, Levittown area. Live in
why does that sound familiar? Levittown sounds so familiar to me.
Because there's a town in Long Island called Levittown.
Maybe that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
There's one in New York too.
Yeah.
That's on Long Island. Yep.
Yeah.
And so you obviously wrestled all through high school.
Yes, sir.
You grew up wrestling like at an early age?
No. I didn't start wrestling until I was in the 7th grade. I picked up wrestling because I wanted to get into a good school with good academics. So I knew that I could probably transition my jiu-jitsu background. So I started training when I was 4. And I started with
jiu-jitsu?
No, in karate, Muay Thai. So it was like a mix. And then I started boxing when I was like 8. And
where are your parents? Put them on, because that's incredible.
They were right beside me the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. Like
they went out drinking for 4 hours while his kid was training.
But that's amazing, man. That's freaking. That's what a background. Holy crap!
Yeah, so as soon as I got into school, or like wanted to get into a good school, I just transitioned over to wrestling because I wish they had MMA at a collegiate D1 level, but that's not really the thing right now. So maybe
let's pause on that real quick. Do you think that would ever become an actual thing, MMA in college?
I've seen a few things. I forget who was running the promotion, but they were kind of setting up like I don't know if it was D1, but they were going like throughout different colleges and setting up like an MMA program where you could it was like a sport for the university. And I think the rule set and stuff was different because they did it almost as like a team sport, how like a wrestling match is. So you'd have like an MMA fighter at each weight class, like a starter for the team, and then like you'd go against another school, and then like everybody would fight, and then like they would tally up points, and it was like along the lines of like a wrestling match but with an MMA fight. And I thought it was really interesting when I read the article, but it was a while back.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I really think that Olympic level would be something that they can make happen. We have so many weird summer Olympics. I don't understand why jiu-jitsu is not an Olympic sport. I don't understand why MMA is not an Olympic sport other than the damage.
I was going to say, I think jiu-jitsu makes sense as an Olympic sport because similar to wrestling, it's controlled, a little more controlled violence, I guess I should say. MMA for an Olympic sport, I think it's almost like too brutal. Where like you should be getting paid for that at that point. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If you're at that level, the best. The Olympics are the best of the best. So, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of a hard thing. Can I just rewind really quick? This dude is in 7th grade. Like projected, bro. Like the difference when there's special people out there, because it's like this dude is like thinking about his future in 7th grade. 7th grade, I remember the biggest thing I ever planned was we broke a stink bomb in like the end of the day in class and cleared out the whole fucking school. Like that was you know what I mean? Like the different types of people out there. Like this man is like, yeah, I gotta get into a really good school. I'm like,
you don't think past 2 weeks now?
Exactly, not even. Yeah, but that's incredible.
So you started wrestling 7th grade. Were you? I mean, you went to Drexler, so you must have been pretty good in high school.
Yeah, I was pretty good. I got to state my senior year. I had 100 wins. Like 50% of them were pins. That was decent at wrestling, I'd say. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Now, are you at Drexel? Are you full scholarship, or is that something? Because I know wrestling through the years has been downgraded.
Yeah, I'm partial, but mostly academic. So a lot of my scholarship comes from just like my grades and stuff, and just different grants and stuff I got for my good grades.
Yeah, that's something that doesn't exist on this podcast normally.
I mean,
we only get by on our athletic prowess only, no educational purposes whatsoever.
And then and half the guests, I mean, can't even say that. So,
so like, how do you find time? Like, so you're still in college right now. You are give me the major again, because that's how slow we are here.
Aerospace engineering.
Okay, I know engineers.
Yeah,
and they have their plate full.
Yeah,
I played basketball in college, so at a D3 level, so I know how on that level how packed my schedule was. How do you handle everything? A D1 wrestling career, that major, and still have time to train MMA? And can you compete in MMA during the college wrestling season? That's a lot. I'm sorry to throw a lot.
That's fine. All right, let's start in the beginning. So, I mean, when you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life, right?
Yep.
So everything I do, there's a reason why I do it, because I love it, and I will do whatever it takes to get it done. There's 24 hours in a day, and there's people who think that's not enough time, and then they don't, because they're not using it correctly. There's enough time in the day to get everything done that you need to get done, plus some.
Gunnar, you clearly don't have children.
No.
I'm waiting until I'm like 30.
Yeah.
I'm 21.
Don't even do
it.
Just bypass.
Somebody's got to live on the Spain lineage.
That's right.
Yeah, you guys seem like you guys have it together. Have kids. You guys seem like the saviors of the world. Yeah, we need those genetics out there.
Yeah. So to the wrestling and MMA, can you do that during the season?
So I have. Technically, in like the NCAA rules, it stipulates you can't be a professional athlete in the same sport that you compete in college. So I wrestle, and like professional would be if I was like a Olympic wrestler. If I went and wrestled in the Olympics, I can't do that. But since it's technically a different sport, like it kind of just like MMA is so new and NCAA rules are so old that they kind of just like miss each other. So it kind of works out.
But I'm assuming your coach at Drexler doesn't want you to step in the cage during a wrestling season, right?
I mean, it's gotten close. Like I've hit some right at the beginning of the season, and one was like right at the end of the season. So
I remember my basketball coach not wanting me to go skiing. And he's like, "Hey, coach, I'm gonna go step in a cage now." Especially really cool. At pro rules in terms of heel hooking, elbows, the whole 9 yards. I mean, that's a large a chance of getting really hurt or at least cut.
Yeah, I mean, one of our assistant coaches, his name's CJ LaFagara. He's actually about to make his professional debut. I used to train with him back when I was over at Nicatone's MMA, and I still train with him just in the wrestling room now. And we talk about MMA all the time, but it's a very welcoming place, Drexel Wrestling. So nice. With all the coaches and everybody in the atmosphere, everybody's super cool with everything. So
what gym are you at now?
Marquez MMA in Philly.
Okay.
because I live in the city now since I go to Drexel.
Sure. How does, and like I said, I'm fascinated by the college sporting lifestyle now. How does NIL factor into your life? Does it? Because I know like women's basketball, like girls are getting paid. Like, is it? Are you getting anything from that, or?
So I'm not like a big shot wrestler, right? Like I'm not that national champion guy.
You're not Penn State or Iowa.
So like those big school guys, those Big Ten guys, that are flashy. They go out there, they get all that stuff done. They'll get some good NIL deals. But I don't know if anybody even on our team has gotten any like rock star NIL deal. We've gotten like small ones for different things, but not like the money that some of these other schools and kids are seeing.
I live in Athens, Georgia right now, and with like the UGA is so like some of those dudes make some bank. There's back-to-back champion. I mean, they make incredible. It's insane.
There's a girl who plays for LSU. I have a daughter who plays basketball, so most people don't follow girls basketball. I understand that, but she is currently making more money in college than anyone in the WNBA. Like that's crazy, and I think you're going to start seeing, maybe not in sports that don't have like basketball,
television,
and football.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see it, but in other sports, I don't think you're going to see it. But I think you see basketball and football players stay longer because they can make that life-changing money and still prepare themselves.
Awesome life. You're a huge fish in a big. I mean, still a big pond. I mean, you get to be making money at college like that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I would have been a dick with all that money in college.
A dick with no money. Like, it's like, really not, especially when I make money, I'm like, nah, that made me more of a dick. But you were undefeated as amateur, right?
Yes, sir.
I was looking at your record. That's what you beat some pretty big names in there too. Like, that's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, there's no point in taking easy fights. They're all going to be hard fights when you get to the high level. So,
thank you.
Might as well take the beating. I mean, if you're going to take a beating, take it as an amateur, because as soon as you turn pro, your record's 0-0 again. So there's no point in not trying to take them when you're young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, we need you to come in and talk to some of my fighters. Like, I got guys who still don't want to fight certain types of people. I'm like, buddy, you've been here for 5 years. Like, we could have fixed whatever that issue was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But
it's a coaching problem.
It probably is a coaching problem. I'm no longer the MMA coach.
I don't coach anymore either. So
I'm just in jiu-jitsu. So you said earlier you did jiu-jitsu. What is your rank currently?
I'm a purple belt.
All right.
Currently. So I was training under Ricardo Almeida in the beginning, and then switched over here to Philly. I started training under Daniel Gracie.
Okay. Yep.
So
do you train directly with Daniel or just at Philly?
So that's a gym right near the L, Jasper Street.
Yep.
I was doing most of my training with him there, and then I'm not sure. We might get some jiu-jitsu into Marquez MMA. Looks like we might be bringing some pretty top dog guys in, so maybe I'll be doing some more jiu-jitsu at my main gym.
Nice. Maybe we can set up a purple belt super fight between you and Rich, and we can.
I'm good. I'm good. My super fight days are behind. I've done enough hard fights. I'm looking for easy fights now.
How many points is 50 takedowns? How many?
Yeah, right. I'm not getting up, man. I got like probably 2 takedowns in me. After the second one, I'm like, just submit me. I'm old now. Man. I'm lazy.
So how did? I mean, you are, as far as I know, you're the first Cage Wars contracted professional MMA fighter. How did that come about? Like, how did Tim reach out to you? You reach out to Tim? Like, how'd that work?
So we had a bunch of people reaching out, a bunch of different leagues reaching out after my first fight. So they reached out and we were talking. We're going back and forth, bartering the deal a little bit. And Cage Wars came back and just gave me the sweetest deal with the best info, the best everything. So it was like a no-brainer. And the fact that they're in the city, it's my home turf. Everybody can come and watch me fight. It's gonna be great. Like they
get that pay-per-view points from stimulus.
That's cool too, because the casino there, I haven't been to the Rivers Casino in Philadelphia, but we have one in our city, and it's nice. It's they're really accommodating. They're good. They're really awesome people at ours. So I imagine similar thing through all rivers up and down the East Coast. So, have you fought there yet, or where did you
No,
fight?
this will be my first time fighting
awesome.
at Rivers. Yep.
That's cool. Hopefully you can come. I can't make it to this one, but next Philly one, I'm sure you'll fight on. I would love to be there, but hopefully you can come up to New York and fight when they do the pro cards there.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. What weight class is this? Is it 155?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's a stacked weight class for Cage Wars. They have a lot of 155ers.
Yeah.
Without saying the number amount, is your contract, like, I'm curious because we don't really get to see the pro side. Is it set up like the UFC where you get show money and then you get win money, or how does that normally work?
Yeah, I get money to show, money to
and if
win.
you don't feel comfortable talking about anything, you don't have to. I'm just not.
There's no numbers going to be flying out. I get money to show, money to win, and then percentage of ticket sales.
Okay, cool.
So they gave me a good deal. They put me on a billboard. They're doing a lot of stuff for me.
The promotional stuff for you is great, man.
You can't put $1. I mean, you can somebody can put $1 value on the billboard, whoever's paying for it, but it's priceless.
Tim's got a ton of money.
We're very materialistic over here at the podcast. You're like, wait, I can give you X amount of dollars or billboard. We're like, give us the billboard.
You gotta give the billboard. Yeah. You meet Tommy then too as well? Have you met Tim and Tommy in person, or?
I've not. No.
Okay, they're great people. They're cool.
Yeah,
you'll dig them.
I've dealt with all kinds of MMA promotions. I'm a referee and judge, so I worked a lot of shows pre-sanctioning in New York, so I dealt with a lot of them. And Tim is just a straight shooter, and same thing with Tommy. Tommy's very relaxing to be around. Former pro MMA guy, fighter, knows the industry, knows what's up, and like I said,
they're great, man.
You never have to worry about where you stand with Tim. Tim will just tell you, like, listen, we're fucked up right now.
I got a little bit of it today about last night's podcast, so just a heads up.
What's that?
I got a little bit of it today about last night's podcast not being broadcast Facebook Live.
Oh my god!
So I'm like, I mean, that was Nell. Just a heads up.
Listen, his name is Mark Zuckerberg. I'm sure he's located at mark.zuckerberg@facebook.com. And you can complain to that guy.
But I fought for Cage Wars 5 times, and they've been fucking great every time. I mean, they're awesome, man. So,
I haven't had any trouble with them. Tim's been super great, easy to communicate with, always answering. He's always around, so can't complain.
Definitely, man. So, obviously, the standard question we ask everyone, because we normally just talk to amateurs, is, well, do you intend on going pro? Blah blah. Obviously, we're already here, man. You're 1-0, 6-0 as an amateur. Obviously, you're looking to try and go 2-0 versus Corey. What's your long-term goals, man? Like how often do you want to fight? Do you want to stay active? Are you like a once a year kind of fighter, or once every 3 months?
Yeah, so I like to strike when the iron's hot. Keeping on weight is it's not a difficult task, but it's definitely not the easiest thing in the world.
Well, dude, he's fucking 21 years old or whatever he is.
I know.
It's too easy then.
So we're fighting. The lineup is June, September, December. 3 fights for Cage Wars, our 3-fight deal.
Is the September one? Is that up?
That's in New York.
Is that Scrappy?
No, all 3 in Philly.
Oh, is it?
Oh, okay. So they're doing a September card in December then, or in September.
Cool.
I don't think that's not new information. I'm not supposed to say, but
no.
They posted it. I just thought
I don't have the poster in front of me, but they posted all their events for the whole year. So
okay, cool.
I think okay, that's cool.
So the plan is to fight, win. For the 3rd fight, maybe we can squeeze in a little title shot action at 55, see what they're thinking, take a belt, and then see where that leads me. A 4-0 record. If Cage Warrior wants to bring me back, if I need to get some more wins under my belt, but if I get that 4-0 with a belt, try to reach out to the PFL, to the Bellator, I'm stepping up my game as fast as I can, as quick as I can, because you're only young once in your life. You're 21 once, you're 22 once, so I might as well do it while I'm here.
Do you feel pressure being Cage Wars' first MMA contracted fighter? Like, like the promotion kind of looks at you as almost like a leader in this kind of event?
No, I mean, I love it. I mean, they're doing a lot for me, and you know, I really step up when the lights are on. So if they want to put me out there, make me the poster boy, I'm glad to be the poster boy. I'll promote everything. I'll make them look good, and you know, as long as they're making me look good, that's fine.
Walk us through your process in terms of about to ready to walk. Right, you're in the back, hands taped, gloves on, because I know how this guy is. He's a different person until the lights hit him and the music hits, and all of a sudden that dude fucking turns into a performer. How are you? Like, are you like nervous? You like chill?
I mean, in my opinion, if you're not nervous, then you're not a human being. Like, you're about to go in there and scrap with some dude, and like your life's potentially on the line. So like you got some kind of butterflies in you. I have a little bit of nerves in me. I mean, I've had a bunch of fights, and like outside of just MMA fights, I've had boxing, Muay Thai. Like, it gets easier, but it's still always there.
Right.
But you know, I get to the stage, the lights hit you, my song comes on, do my little walkout, feeling good. Once I start hearing my song, I like it. I'm moving, I'm vibing, you know, getting in the space. And then as soon as I get in the cage, and I guess the door locks behind me, that's when the switch flips. That's when it's game time.
Has it ever not switched?
I don't think so. I think it's just like, I think intuitively my body understands. Right. It's just like it's game time now. Like, there's no turning back. You can't jump out of the cage and run away.
Timeout. I need a 30 second.
What's your song? Did you use the same song every time, or?
Yeah, I come out the Cowboy by Kid Rock.
Dope.
That's fucking awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
It says my name in it, or my fight name.
Oh yeah, the real. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Dude, that is such a great walkout song, and I think by itself it's a great walkout song. But the fact that Cerrone used it for so long, man, he just made that so iconic for a guy. I wish I don't know how, like I said, we've never been to Philly. I hope they have a long walkway, because I feel like sometimes like the fighters get cheated with the songs, because
I sit there and wait. I'll sit there and let it. I'll hit it. I'll wait until it hits where I want to walk out to. I use Old Dirty Bastard, Shimmy Shimmy Ah. It's my favorite song. And like it just instantly clicks on to like that's ready. I know what it means. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like Pavlov. Is that what the dog and the bells like kind of shit? It's like you said, it's trained into that, and it's just like when that comes on, it gets me pumped. And so I feel that and the cage thing is so true. The first time I fought, I didn't expect to be so like when the cage door locks. I thought I'd be like fucking so scared, but I'm like, oh, everything just simplifies. I'm like, it's fucking we either fight or we get really hurt. So I'm like, it makes it really simple. Everything you're thinking about goes away, and it's just like, this is what I'm fucking here for. Like, this is awesome. And and the Cage Warriors uses the fucking white ring, the
canvas,
canvas. Sorry, and I'm like, it looks so dope with the lights. Pardon me.
The Cage Wars is really in the last, I think, year and a half, really up there.
I didn't die.
Production value.
I'm back, baby. All right, sorry about that.
With the white canvas and the lights and Rivers has really worked a lot too. And obviously you can't talk about it without saying about Stimulus. You know, offering the stream for free at stimulus.com. They do a great job at that, and it really helps you guys build your brand, because you can get it out to everybody.
Yep.
You know, there's not one promotion in the world that I've ever wanted to watch as an amateur that works correctly. Like, the feed never works. The feed's horrible. The camera's 10,000 feet away from the cage. Like, you know, this is on par with, you know, what a amateur / now pro. You know,
Chris Barnett, he for UFC fighter. He is a friend of mine down here, and helped me train and coach me a little bit. He came up to a couple of my fights, and he came up to Cage Wars, and he's like, "Bro," he's like, "This is fucking you're fighting an amateur fight in this kind of like, this is crazy. He's like, this is better than most pro promotions I've fought for. He's like, they're so good. You know, everything's like on point. The production's great. He's like, it's clean. He's like, the fucking locker rooms are not, you know, he's like, this is nuts. He's like, and it's, you know, so yeah, they take care of you. They do a really good job. I think with Tim's passion for it, and he's a kind of perfectionist, and Tommy as a fighter himself who knows how people want to be treated, it just works out. But yeah, I'm excited for your fight, man. I mean, have you like, are you the kind of fighter and camp who, and I'm not asking specifics or anything, that you put a game plan together while watching tape, or you just kind of like go out and just kind of implement your style? And you don't have to like answer, like I said, I'm just kind of curious what you guys' mentality is. It's kind of like, we're going to implement our stuff, or do you watch him, look for things you can exploit, or?
No, right. So I think it's a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. And I think, you watch the fight, you watch his fights, whatever you can get on him. You see what you can exploit easily, like right from the beginning, and then you implement your style. You take him to a place where he's uncomfortable, and then you start doing what you're good at, and that's how you win fights.
Mm-hmm. Man, I need those kind of pep talks, because like I'm a really good, well, honestly, really grappling is my specialty kind of thing, but I'm like, I just want to strike it in there. I'm an idiot. Like I'm just kind of like, I just fall into that trap. You know what I mean? And it was like, but yeah, so that's awesome. Good. You have a good head on your shoulders, man. Corey's a cool guy. I don't know if you, I mean,
yeah,
and stuff, but I'm like, he's a cool guy. Like I've talked to him a few times, and I'm excited to see you guys fight, because he's talented. You know, he's a tough guy, you know, and has a motor. So like, I think it's a good test for both of you, you know?
Yeah.
And like seeing him, like he had a fight versus a guy, Cole Alexanian, for like, I think it was the 165 title.
Yeah.
And that was just a back and forth war. It was cool to see them both like kind of dig deep, you know? And, you know, I don't know. It's a good person to be tested against. You know, it'll be fun.
Corey's such a game fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen, like I said, the 165, which is, what is that, super flyweight or whatever?
Super cruiser, super middleweight, right? No, super lightweight.
It has a weird name too. Anyways,
it's weird. It's made up. I thought it was made up.
No,
yeah, it's official class, because I thought it was fucking made up. But
the only reason why we don't have a 165 is that there are so many famous fighters at 170 from the UFC. You know what I mean? And it's weird, but Gunnar, how do you feel about the weight classes? Do you think there should be more weight classes? Do you think there should be less?
I think if you made more weight classes, it'd be difficult, right? It'd be difficult to implement it right now with the way it's always been.
Right.
Because you'd have dudes that are already cutting from 190, 200, making 170, doing that additional cut. So you're going to get really big dudes, and then maybe you'll have smaller guys move up, but they're going to be no competition against these dudes that are already cutting down from these large weights. So it's difficult to just throw in a 65 when there's a 70, unless you bumped every weight class. So unless you went 55, 65, 75, 8, like, and did that and like shuffled them all around, then it would make more sense. But I don't think throwing in a 65, even though it'd be a lot easier for me to make a 65, but like, I don't think it would make sense throwing a 65 right in between 55 and 70.
I think we're still also in the, not infancy, probably like toddler age of MMA, or maybe like whatever preteen of the evolution, where there's still not enough fighters to really populate that many weight classes competitively. Yeah. You know, you're not going to get the best of the best. You're going to have
that's why they don't do super heavyweight.
Yeah. Though I think they should. I think there's enough people now where you can have some fun super heavyweight fights. I don't care.
You just got to get rid of USADA. That's all.
I agree. What do you do for? I mean, it seems like there's I know the answer to this question, but I'm asking it because I always ask everybody. Like, what do you do for hobbies and fun outside of? You have your plate's pretty full. I'm sure this is your hobby. That's the answer. But do you do anything else? Like,
I mean, I'm still 21-year-old kid, so I like to shoot my guns. That's a lot of fun. I like to buy guns, shoot them, modify them, do all that kind of stuff. I got a Jeep, so I like to go take the doors and the roof off and go to the beach and drive around, do that kind of stuff. And then just like regular stuff, you know, I still play video games with some of my roommates, like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Just
the cowboy hat's not for show, man. You really live it. That's awesome. This guy just got into guns up there. Nels.
Oh man, I had to.
New York has a really strict policy on like pistols and stuff, and he just got his pistol. So
yeah, it's super hard to get stuff up here, but we find ways around it. So like,
yeah. You did not find a way around it, but there are ways around it.
yeah.
But,
No, I'm gonna have
like you
ATF.
say, you did it illegal way. Disclaimer: legal.
Legal, 100%. All my shit's legal. But for sure. But I have gotten into target shooting lately, and that is a super fun. I never thought, like, people talk about how like relaxing it is. I was like, I don't get it, but now to me it's like going and play golf with a bunch of buddies. You go shooting with a bunch of friends, and it's kind of the same thing. It's more about not so much what you're doing, but the hangout version of it. Tell us more about your gym. Like, what kind of environment is that? Do you have like close friends over there, or you just kind of go in there and do your business and leave?
I mean, in the beginning, I was the new guy. Like a year and a half ago, at this point, I was the new guy in the gym, switching gyms because of my location. It was too far away to get to my old spot. But I've definitely grown. Everyone's shown me like amazing respect and just like open arms. Everybody's like, I wouldn't say like when you first see them all, they don't look like the friendliest people in the world. But
yeah. Tell me about it.
They're definitely, once you show them that you're serious about this and that you're willing to put that hard work in like they do, everybody's super open, everybody's super nice, and like welcoming. So I've definitely created some really good friendships there. The time I've been there already.
Yeah, we talked about that before. It's a different kind of bond. I mean, you're fucking beating on each other. You know, I mean, like, it's just like you just can't replicate that in a lot of ways.
I've always said that there's a certain currency that needs to be earned, both by coaches and by fighters. And there's just that time where you're just like, wow, man, that's my dude. You know what I mean? And everyone has a different way of doing it. You know, Rich and I just we realized that we had the same kind of background growing up, and then, you know, just a lot of things in common, but at the same time, super far opposites in terms of a lot of things. And I have that with a lot of my fighters. I
think you're a good coach. You recognize how I needed to be spoken to and what I needed right from the beginning, that like how I would respond. And you could see me not respond to certain people, and you knew how to get the most out of me from jiu-jitsu tournaments until MMA. So,
right.
You know,
I've always found that like you can't coach everyone by the same.
What is it? There's a tool for every. There's a fucking cute phrase for that. There's a tool for
like I can't just yell at everybody, or I can't be everyone's best friend, or, you know, some people need to like be publicly humiliated, or other people need to be told they're the best in the world. You know what I mean? How do you feel like you are best coach?
You know, I don't know. I think I'm very receptive. I listen. I think I listen very well. So as long as the coach is telling me what he sees and what he hears or whatever he's thinking, like I don't need to be yelled at or like snapped into it. I think just being informative and just telling me like, hey, this is this, this is this, this is this. Right. And he's like, all right, go get them. Then that, like, I'm good with that. Like, I don't need a smack in the head. I don't need, I don't need all that. I just, you know, I've been doing it for a while now. So like, I just put my head down, grind, and like, as long as you're telling me what you're seeing, and if I'm making any mistakes or you see an opening on the guy, and just like in an easy way, not like you can yell it obviously when we're in the cage because you can't hear very well, but you know, like when we're sitting down, they just talk to me like just like we're normal people. Don't say anything crazy, don't do anything crazy, because there's no reason to overhype something more than it needs to be. You just stay calm in the situation and tell me what I need to get done or what I need to change or what I should implement into the next part, and then I go and try to execute it.
Yeah, you're very much like Rich that way.
I don't need to be spoken down to or fucking. I hate that where it's like, it's not that serious, man.
Rich is a very paint by numbers type of fighter, where like at least in jiu-jitsu where it's a little more quiet. I really kind of think that MMA coaches are kind of almost useless in the day of the event because it's so loud in there and whatever like that. And there's a couple of times, but in between rounds, obviously they're helpful in terms of pointing things out. But when you're on the other side of a 30-foot cage and the place is going nuts, there's no way you're hearing us. You're just not. You just kind of hope, and that's the frustrating thing because you don't want to sit in the corner and not say anything, and then people are like, "Well, why isn't he saying shit?" Like, he ain't gonna fucking hear me. Like, he's all the way over there. You know what I mean? And yeah, so that's cool because I'm sure you train with other people who do need that kind of like kick in the ass.
Some people like that. They like that old school fucking treat me like shit mentality. Like some people like that, enjoy it, and they respond to it. I just feel I'm an adult. I know what I'm trying. Like you said, I know what I need to do on my end. Definitely motivate me and help me see things that I don't see because you're reason you're a coach. You know what I mean? You're the third part. You know what I mean? Like you're a third. What's the word? Third person. Like you could see it differently. So help me up with that. But yeah, I left the gym down here because that the guy was just too heavy-handed and stuff, and I'm like, bro, I need that. I'm not a child. But
Rich needs to be put in a box so he can bounce around.
But give me the structure, but let me I go like in the background, like you were saying before, like in the locker room. I don't like sitting still. I'm not like nervous energy, but I'm like I don't want to be stuck back here. It's just not.
He's the biggest pain in the ass when it comes to the regulating bodies.
Yeah, bro, I don't put my gloves on till the last second. I will not put my hand wraps till the last second. I don't like that feeling until I want them on when I'm ready. Okay, cool. Now I know it's like there's nothing else to think about but that is when those are on. Is what I feel. You know what I mean? But before that, got hours. Usually I'm like the third or fourth fight or the second fight sometimes from the top. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't want to fucking sit there for fucking and why like pissing on my fucking wraps and stuff. Like not to be gross, but like I don't want these on. Like
the only time it's socially acceptable not to wash your hands after going to the bathroom.
I always wash my hands. I usually that's the other thing too. Is it drives me fucking crazy because I'm like I don't. But it's like. But
oh man,
maybe I had a better coach who'd help me with that, But,
oh man, I'm not holding it for you, bro. I just not. There's limits I'm willing to do, and that's one of them. It's so funny. Like I said, being in the regulating bodies and working shows, like what you see backstage and some of that. What was your amateur career like? Was there like? I looked at your fights and like you won a lot of them convincingly.
I haven't gotten any finishes, all either unanimous decisions or by decision. So, you can't push any TKOs or KOs or, you can kind of push a submission if you're dominating your jiu-jitsu and wrestling game over the guy, but you can't just go out there and plan to knock a guy out. So, you just wait on it and just go out there and do what you're good at, and then it'll come. But
that's smart to like that patience. Yeah, you're probably a dream to coach, man.
Yeah, you really. If you ever want to move up to Sketchy, New York, we'll take it for you, bro. We'll definitely take it because you definitely seem like you have a great head on your shoulders. And here's by the way, if anyone's interested in checking out CageWarsMMA.com, fifth card, number 58. There's the fight card. Go check it out. We got a couple guys from up here on that card. Vinny, who is fighting. What's the guy?
We got a lot of our guys on the card. Half the cards, Marquez guys.
Oh, really? Teammates? Who are your teammates on the card? If you
shout them out.
The co-main, Christian Bobby.
Oh yeah, that's who he's fighting. He's fighting Vinny.
Oh, there you go. My boy Christian's the co-main. We got Cade on there. We got a whole bunch of
real quick. Jules, who does all the marketing stuff for Cage Wars, says that she looks like a live streamer scammer. Oh man, I love whenever we post something like on stimulus.com, like when like someone's post like someone wants to watch a fight, immediately some dude from Pakistan's like, here, come watch this fight. Like, no, that's not the link.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
How many fights does that guy Bovey had? Pro fights. This is his first
professional debut.
That's awesome. So Vinny as well. So that'd be I'm excited. I'm excited to watch this card.
Yeah,
listen, I can't wait because, like I said, I'm gonna be away for both cards. My daughter plays basketball, so I travel all over the Northeast, and thank God, like I said, stimulus.com, because I'm gonna be able to watch the Philly card while I'm down in Pennsylvania. And then the next one in Schenectady from Louisville. So I'll be able to watch all my guys fight, plus like some of the guys.
Where are you going to be in Pennsylvania?
I think that's Mannheim, Pennsylvania, which is down by like Reading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is awesome, man. This is a good card.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah, I don't think my wife will let me shoot over.
I was going to say, why can't you shoot over?
Yeah, because it's not that far from Philly.
I would go, but I think I'm going to get in. I'm moving back to New York, so I'll be like the day before or that day. So there's a lot of fights in this card. Who else? Any other? So Christian Bobby, you said?
Yeah, let me check it out.
How do you say his name?
Bobby.
Bobby. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Shout everybody out. I just gotta look back at the card. So we got Christian, we got Evan Levy, Amanda Levy's brother. You guys know her. She was an amazing fighter. We got Ward. He's a beast. Hopefully they can find my boy Justin a fight. Justin, I can't ever say his last name right.
Did Andrew Peterson drop out?
That's what I've been heard. He posted on Instagram yesterday saying that they're looking for a 70. And Cage Wars posted it on Facebook too.
I did see. I was wondering who that was because Andrew fights out of Sukhothai Muay. I can't say that.
Sukhothai
Muay Thai up here. I wonder how happened to get. He's a pretty game kid. So
yeah. Our boy Gonzalez, our boy Watson, and Baradelli. That's Cage.
Wow, I mean, this is like a whole team. That's what
I'm saying. This is our team. This is our card.
I tell you, it's one of the best things as a coach when you have a lot of fighters. Like, it's a lot going on mentally, making sure everyone makes weight, medicals, the whole 9 yards. But when you're in the back and the door closes, like, okay, cool. Like, no one can go anywhere. It's so nice having 4 or 5 guys back there. 6 or 7. Hey, the mayor of Cohoes is in here.
Oh, Ed Kidder.
Ed Kidder, what's up?
President USMCA too, right? I mean, is that was it?
Yeah, he's yep.
The regulating body. And Ed, you guys do Philadelphia too, right? Did they do that down there?
No, Philly is the state commission runs everything, even the amateur card. But
he does our fights up here. He does he's a regulating body for the fights up here.
I know Ed has done a lot with helping, get the pro side and the side. Ed Kunkel is the head of the Pennsylvania Athletic Commission. Shout out to him. He used to run New York. Now he runs Pennsylvania, I believe.
Yeah, as we said, that name sounds familiar. As we say, Ed Kidder's a mover and shaker up here, man. He makes things happen. So.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I can't wait for this. This is going to be awesome. Finally, we're starting to blow up on the comments here. We recently just switched platforms, so we're starting to rebuild our client base, our fan base again.
Yeah.
So listen, buddy, we're rounding a turn here to wrapping this up. So who do you want to give thanks to, man? Like we're big.
I have a question before we go this too crazy. Like just because we usually do this, like who are some of your favorite fighters' inspirations? Like could be any kind of martial art, whatever. But like, I mean, right now, like just 3 to 5 fighters that you really.
Let's do the Mount Rushmore again.
Oh yeah, Mount Rushmore.
So growing up, my first card that I can really remember sitting down and watching with my dad was Uriah Faber was fighting, and I loved him just in general. He had long hair, he had braids in his hair. I had long hair. I was doing braids in the summertime. I was like, dude, I this is sick. Like I could be like this guy.
He used to have the wickedest guillotine ever. And also, too, he gave the most gangster line ever to Dominic Cruz in their rematch when he said, the only reason why you're still alive is because a referee told me I had to stop choking you. Gangster right there.
Gangster. And then, the guys that I train with, I've been so lucky in my life to be able to train with some of the top level guys from such a young age. Like I've trained with Eddie Alvarez. I've trained with Frankie Edgar. I've trained with Ebson Barbosa. I trained with Paul Felder. I've trained with Rashad Evans. Like I've had the ability to touch hands with some of the best in the world.
That gym is ridiculous in terms of people come all around the world to go train at that gym.
Yeah. I'm training with Pat now. Now Pfeiffer's at the gym, Sean's at the gym. Like there's a lot of big guys to look up to and train with and actually get to spar with and learn from. Like just like all the way from my past when I was training with those other guys till now, I've had a very blessed life, and the ability to train with all these people has just made me a better person and a better fighter.
Yeah,
so I got to thank them. Like I can't put a top 5, top 3 together.
Yeah.
When
answers the question even more eloquently than I could imagine. That was perfect.
Yeah, when I touch hands with so many great people, it's amazing.
Bro, I think this is rivaling the most grounded, mature person, Samantha. I can butcher her last name, Ayala. Like, these are some of the best answers. It's a great interview, man. Thank you for like being so.
And that is really the awesome thing about MMA is that name a fighter and maybe like a John Jones, but like anyone else, you go travel to wherever they'll train with you. Like that's the coolest thing ever.
John Flansburgh, we see you. I want us to shout you out. I see you in there, buddy. So sorry, but he's
the most up and coming rising superstar in the world, John Flansburgh, aka the Leprechaun.
But I'm sorry to interrupt you.
But like same thing with jiu-jitsu. Like, man, I go train with anybody. I just gotta go to their gym, and hop in, man. That's awesome. If you could go to another gym, like on vacation or whatever, what's the gym you want to go to?
I mean, I'd love to just spar at American Top Team with like Jorge Masvidal, Dustin Poirier. I know Gaethje's been around here recently training with Eddie and some of our guys in the Philly area. I'm not sure where they were, but if I could touch hands with some of the fighters fighting at 55 in the UFC and just see how I'm stacking up. That's the main goal. See where I got to get better. See if I can see where just the next thing's going to take me.
I know we said about wrapping it up. I do have another question. We talked about American Top Team. That whole like 155 division at ATT was so stacked for so long, and then it really kind of blew up in terms of Kobe left, and then Masvidal left, and then I know some of those guys are at 170, 155, but have you ever like experienced that? I mean, the first gym you're at had people in it that were in the same weight class or maybe even fought each other. Like,
I don't know if I've ever been with trained with guys that fought each other, but we definitely had some guys at the gym that were all at 55, or when I was an amateur, I was fighting at 70. So, there's definitely that, but I mean, I've never had any bad blood. Like I've never done even interacted with somebody in a gym that was like bad mouthing or like running their mouth about like being in the gym. Like everyone I've ever trained with, every gym I've gone to, everyone's super cool. Like if you're part of the gym, you're part of the family, and you're helping each other out. Like there's like, you don't fight. I mean, unless there's like some crazy like UFC title on the line. Like I've never had the option of fighting somebody from my gym, and like we don't even fight people from our sister gyms if like you train with each other a lot. So like there's never been anything bad happening between gyms. Like we all help each other out, and they're all just trying to make each other better.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't even fathom. Like, so we, Jacal is our school for jiu-jitsu, and I'd say MMA, but that was the rule throughout all the Jacal schools. It's just like you meet somebody in a tournament from the sister school, cousin school, whatever. You don't fight them. Somebody has to bow out. Yeah. Like you figure that out between yourselves. And then they do like Jacal has like an edict where it's like he holds a tournament in Jersey like once a year where it's like all the Jacal school compete against each other. He's like, that's when you can show each other up, whatever. Like, but it's other than that, we're all families. Like, you can have a little family feud here, but outside
it's never worked out. Like promoters all the time are like, well, it just never works out. Look at Rashad Evans and John Jones, the whole Kobe and all that. It never ends well. It never ends well.
It's a divide in the gym.
Someone that has something up on the other person, it just doesn't end well. It's tough.
Even at the lower level, we've seen people. I'm not going to put names there. Like in local gyms where they'll have their fighters fight, they're from the fucking same school, and it's like, how the hell do you have like amateur guys do that? That's a big mind fuck, because like you got to go back to training with this guy, and like you kind of. I mean, I'm a kind of person that you seem like kind of person too. Like to me, it's a sport and it's a competition. Like I don't ever generate like animosity towards my opponent because I don't need to. It's just I can go punch my mom in the fucking face right now. Like if we're signed up to fight, I'll go punch my mom. It's a fight. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I got money on your mom.
I got money on my mom. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, that's the only reason I wouldn't fight. But it's like it's kind of I don't need a manufacturer. I know some people do. They have to get all hyped up, and that's to each his own. But I'm like, so if two guys need to get that animosity to fight each, some people need that psychology. It's gonna tear your gym apart. Like,
yeah.
Why do that? It's just
people are gonna start taking sides. People are gonna be. You helped him more.
And
you
then the
told
coach,
him something like no.
You know, he's been my coach. I mean, since I started this, and right from the beginning, white belt and above, my competition coach and MMA and everything like that. And it's like, well, say another person he's close with, he's gonna have to pick one of us to be in our corner. And like that's gonna.
You know, I'm picking you, Richie.
Well, 100%. But I mean, what if he did it? Then if you say you feel like, hey, listen, like let's just say this. I'm just a hypothetical situation. I'm fucking 41. My time is fighting. I'm just doing it kind of like to fuck off, right? Somebody who's younger, who has like you, say if you went to our gym, this guy's got a real career in this, right?
Oh, fuck you, Rich. I'm thinking.
I was going to say, you better pick him because he needs,
put him in early retirement.
But I'm just saying, like, it's like, you got to go with that because that's the future and the real.
It's the Shaq Kobe thing.
Yeah. So it's like, I just don't get it, man. I don't get how people even agree to that as a coach. It's just
but on the other hand, like as a promoter, I get it. Like,
you're trying to make fights
guys in the area. I want those guys to fight.
And you've seen it. I'm sure you've seen it. I looked through your Tapology. You have like 3 canceled matches. It's a fuck show, man. When it comes to like getting people to commit, and like
amateur ranking. It's
insane. So
I've had people back out 2 weeks out from a fight. It's like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? Like
me too. And I had to take my last fight. I had to take a fucking 18-year-old stud because he's the only person who stept up in like last minute and he beat the fuck out of me. So I'm like, but I'm not going to back out because like he volunteered to take the dude's place who fucking, but I'm like, fuck, I got it. The show must go on. I'll go out there and sacrifice my soul for the fucking fans.
Yeah, definitely. All right, buddy. This is awesome. Now the real time to leave. Give a shout out to your gym, sponsors, whoever you want. And before we wrap it up.
Yeah.
And where can people buy those shirts too? Put that out there.
You can DM me on Facebook if you want. I ship them out across wherever. I send them wherever. Have the new shirts. We might have some of the old shirts, but they're like very selective sizes if you want an old shirt design. And then first and foremost, I have to thank my family, my mom, my dad, and my sister. They've been with me along this ride the whole time since I started fighting when I was 8 years old. I couldn't do without them. They're my support. They're my backbone. Without them, this wouldn't even be possible. You wouldn't see me sitting here talking to you guys. I wouldn't be in the position that I am. I got to thank my gym, taking me in, bringing me in, making me feel like family, Marquez MMA, Coach John, Coach James, Coach Cody. And I got to give a shout out to Pat Sabatini for helping me out a lot during this fight camp, showing me a lot of good techniques, a lot of hard training sessions between me and him. And then just everybody else at the gym just helped me cut weight, being there with me, putting our heads down and all grinding together. Without you guys, this wouldn't be fun. And, thank you all. And thank you guys for having me on and putting my name out there and really, really making this thing a show.
Of course, man. We're humbled. You're a great guest. I mean, so far we've been blessed. All our guests have been awesome, and you're fucking carrying the tradition. I do have one more question, real quick. Do you have like a revolver gun that you should do like an old? I just picked.
I really want an old Colt revolver.
Like a Colt 45. That's
the whole plan. But I have a lever action right now. That's my lever action. It's
like a Henry.
It's not a Henry.
That's my goal in life is to get a Henry.
It's based off the Henry. It's an Italian-made gun.
It's
all new parts, but like after the old Henry 1868 lever action. But it works perfect. Like I that's my favorite gun to shoot, the 38 special. Mm-hmm. There's like no recoil. It's a beautiful gun. The metal's all like gold plated with a dark like brown wood.
That's awesome.
It's a beautiful gun. I love to shoot that gun. And
in Red Dead 2, I spent so much time customizing the guns. You couldn't even see the fucking thing. It was just like, I just love doing that stuff. That's awesome.
If you could come into the next fighting walkout and start shooting off guns like the smoking guns on the old WWE days, that'd be like the chaps.
Not in Philly, bro. Not in Philly. Don't do that.
Kick that real quick.
Yeah, it's gonna cause some issues. But dude, thank you so much, man, and thank you for you and your team. I'm excited. Hopefully, we can meet you guys in person, and excited to see where this career goes, man. When you're holding the UFC strap, we get to say what you were on.
Before next time when you're talking to Ariel Helwani, we want to make sure we had you on the show before you.
Right. Like back when I was on Presser and the Hammer.
All right, buddy. We appreciate it, man, and have a good night.
You guys too.
Thank you, everybody, for watching or whatever.